Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the bloodbath of crypto. Here's to you. We're live. It is 11:54 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a lot to go over today. We're going to go over Bitcoin's price, what's happening. We're going to compare it to some historical price action to give us an idea as to what may be expected. We're going to touch on Cardano. We're going to have a Cardano weekly update, kind of going over a lot of the latest developments in Cardano, and we're going to look at some on-chain metrics as well, try and figure out how close are we to the Chang hard fork, because it could be popping up anytime. I do find it interesting how Cardano always seems to launch new things around the time too. Wow. So my whole audience is gay for crow today. Well, welcome. Love you too. That's kind of funny. Like the first two chats, are we live? Crow's frozen for me. Interesting. Yeah, I'm live. Is everything okay? Does everybody see everything okay? Good morning, flying killer. What's going on? And then yeah, I bought some ICP today. I finally did it. You know, when I did the video, it was about $7.40, and I thought I'm gonna wait a bit because I knew we were going down lower. We may still very well be going down a little bit lower, but I thought, you know what? I picked up a nice little bag of them, and you know, yeah, we'll see. Jason, could you touch on ICP infinite supply, please? How does that work? I didn't see anything about infinite supply. I saw total supply. Typically when I'm looking at prices of assets on any of these coin sites, typically if there's an infinite supply, there's like an infinity symbol in the total supply, and it was like 520 million, I think. I could be wrong. I don't know. CT guitar guy, what's going on? Gay for crow as well. Okay, well, this is funny. Maybe I don't know. Maybe the Gay for Crow love comes out on Friday afternoons. Casper Network hit 8.018 cents, and I grabbed a nice bag. Very cool, Adam. I think July is the last month of these lows. August onwards, we moon, similar to the 2020 cycle. Interesting. You know, yeah, interesting. I picked up some more ICP after your video around 680. Yeah. Yeah, I went ahead and picked up a bag. Of course, I go live now. My wife starts texting me. Oh, okay. It never fails. It's kind of funny. Cardano seems to always fall harder on red days. But you know what? It also pumps when nothing else pumps. That's the thing. I noticed that recently. I mean, I've noticed it for years. I mean, Cardano does its own thing. It does seem to fall harder, right? And then oftentimes you'll find you'll find times in the market where just everything is stagnant, and then Cardano will go up 5% for no reason. It's just kind of the way it works. If we are going down, I hope you closed your long. Nope, still open. I mean, if the price gets to 52,000, I'm getting liquidated. It is what it is. Does your Crow Trader bot work on any DEX platforms? No, it does not. It does not. Who sold all their bags last cycle? Do you think Kulo is dead? Interesting. I don't actually. I just think that the market's been shit for so long, and because I've watched the price, man, when things are going, Kulo jumps. I mean, it doesn't just stay down. So I don't think it's dead, honestly. I think it was so active for so long. Yeah, no, I don't think it's dead. I just think that when things started really kicking off for Kulo, the market slowed down. And I think it took a little bit of time for the market sentiment to start affecting Kulo token the way it has been. So yeah, no, I don't think it's dead. I mean, I don't know. You know, I still have mine. I mean, I probably should have dumped it when it was worth like 100 grand, but I didn't. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to screw up Moon Daddy's project by like dumping when the price took off. But you know, that's just kind of a Next time, if it gets to that price again, I'm probably dumping. So just be prepared. Cardano is the future. Everyone is saying Cardano is dead due to having no oracles on the chain. You know what, man? I mean, I don't know what to tell you guys. Cardano isn't even 100% finished yet, people. You've got a $1.5 billion ADA treasury just sitting there waiting for this whole Chang hard fork and waiting for like community votes on what to do with it. Will you guys just slow your roll? Nothing about Cardano has been designed or developed the way everything else in the crypto market has. It's just a totally different breed of animal, and I get it. A lot of you guys just still don't get it, and you don't understand, and maybe some of you do. I don't know, but like, if I actually listen to every piece of shit FUD from every Solana troll in the market, I would probably just hold Tether. Like, you guys just got to relax. I mean, really, it's just gotten to a point where I see the comments and I get it, but you guys are, so many of you, especially with the market where it's at right now. And we're going to start diving into the Bitcoin price here in just a second. But I feel like when the market is down, FUD and all of the nonsense that starts popping up, I don't feel like really nothing changes. It's the same bullshit. It's the same FUD. It's the same like, oh, look at that, it's bad, right? The only difference is that during a downturn in a market cycle, people just start believing everything more. And you start freaking out more. And that's what causes panic. And that's ultimately what causes a lot of the weak hands to get shaken out of the market before everything turns around and tears. And then you're sitting there with face palming yourself like, why did I listen? It's like, stop listening to internet trolls and morons that are just trying to like pump their own shit at your expense. People do not want to a large degree, to be real honest with you. I don't even think institutions want people really getting into Cardano yet. And I say yet because I think that there's a lot happening and a lot coming for Cardano. And I think until certain things have played out, I think a lot of institutions struggle. But that's a whole other topic. But I'm not worried about it. Thoughts on Sol's chances of an ETF with how unstable a chain it is? You know what? Listen. I think the Blink technology is super cool. I'm not going to lie. It's probably one of the coolest things I've seen on a blockchain in a while. But the reality is that it wasn't that long ago that Gary Gensler was citing that a lot of these tokens, including Solana, were unregulated or unregistered securities. I find it difficult to believe that Solana is going to get some sort of spot ETF while it's being considered an unregulated and unregistered security. I just don't think that's going to happen. I don't personally know that it is, but if you look at all of the metrics that constitute what a security could be construed as being, Solana definitely hits a lot of those pegs. So, I mean, just for the sheer centralized control of it, the fact that it's, I get the narratives around Solana, and I get a lot of you guys buy into that shit because your favorite YouTuber tells you that this is great and this is cool and this is why and all that. I get it. It is what it is. But you really should do your own deep dives into Solana and how it started, how it got to where it's at, what it's done, what it's not done. And think about it. When I think of the finance market, I think of the general finance industry as a bunch of crooked, greedy psychopaths. I do. That's the way I look at it. And when I think about that, and I think, if I was a really greedy control freak psychopath with narcissistic histrionic disorder and everything else, what would I want more control over that were more easily obtained? Solana, Cardano. I think I'm going to go for Solana on that one. Why? Because it's structured to be that way already. Like, it's already basically there. The problem is like you said, the chain breaks down, things happen all the time. A lot of the devs don't even know how to fix it. I've seen like little insider notes and reports on things. And it's just like, Yeah, I mean, listen, Solana for what it is cool, man. I like the blink tech, and I get that the meme coin market is booming for a lot of people, and it's like I see the number of wallets being created, and a lot of the people, you know, if Solana could bring all these people into the crypto space, and they not be wrecked by rug pulls and scams and things on Solana with all of these meme tokens, I would honestly feel a lot better about what Solana does for the crypto space. But when people first get into a meme token as their gateway drug, if you will, to the blockchain technology, and then they're rug pulled and hurt, and then their money's gone, and they really don't really know what happened because they just bought something their pool boy said was cool. I mean, that's just not good for the crypto space in general. Or if they're like, you know, they're trying to sell an asset and the chain goes down and like nobody knows why, there's no real answers or explanations other than like some PR bubblygook that really doesn't mean shit. I mean, and then I'm like, this is blockchain. Like, this doesn't sound very good. This isn't helping me any. I mean, there's just a lot of reasons why it is what it is. But I mean, I don't know. I'm very curious to see what happens with that blink, because the blink is pretty badass, man. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Even if it worked 80% of the time, 90% of the time, it's still pretty damn cool. ICP looks promising, but the tokenomics are hard to wrap my head around still. And I've watched the biggest bull for ICP, Jerry, on YouTube, and I'm still not sold. Jerry, I'm not a fan of that Jerry Banfield or whatever. I've seen his Cardano videos, and he's just an engagement troll. I really just think he likes to try and be relevant. I mean, that could be said for all of us, right? I mean, let's be real about it. But when you're trashing Cardano, that tells me you really don't know what you're talking about very much. Like, that's just the way I look at it. And I guess he is an ICP bull, and that's cool. More power to him. But I just don't think, I don't know. I watched some stuff on Twitter that he was pumping out, because I haven't heard anything from him in forever. Does the guy go hibernate in the bear market because there's no money to be made, and then things start turning around, and all of a sudden he starts popping up with videos? Is that his shtick? I mean, I don't really tend to watch people like that if they're not sticking through the bear market and working through it like everyone else that's like trying to earn our spot here and continue learning and understanding what's going on. If we just pop into the space when we think it's going to benefit us the most financially, and then we just ignore everybody from then on, I'm not a fan. It is what it is. Nothing really against him. That's his way of doing things. But when you put out really shitty videos about projects that you obviously don't know very much about, like, you're just trying to ride the engagement train, and that's just shitty. So, all right, let's take a look. Enough negativity for today. Well, there might be some more, but we'll see. So we're going to look at the charts a little bit here. So obviously Bitcoin's come down a bit, and we wicked all the way down to 53,600 thereabouts, and we're 56,000. 56.6. What am I saying here? 53.6. And we haven't really broken into this territory yet, but really there's not that much liquidity here. So that's not really shocking. And if we look at this liquidation heat map, Bitcoin to USDT liquidation heat map on a 3-day, there's just not much down here. It's very sparse. But if we look at it, let's say on a week, still there's really no reason for the price to continue moving lower. And, I predicted, I said we'd probably hit somewhere in the $56,000 range. And then where did I predict the price to go? Where's that chart at? This was around 58,000, and I'm like, we could come down here and around 56. And I've even told my friends, I'm like, we're probably going to see 56,000. Well, we did see 56,000. As you can see, 56.5, we wicked down and then pulled right back up. So we basically, the price moved down here cleared out the liquidity that was available here, and now we're sitting on we're sitting on confusion is where we're sitting, because anything can happen at this point. Where was I? That's what got me thrown off. Okay. But as you can see, looking at all of the liquidity around here, there's, 50 million, 100 million. But if you start looking above this price, there is so much money in liquidity sitting at higher price points that it's kind of crazy. Let's look at this on a month and see what we're looking at. Yeah, I mean, all these bright, this is $1.17 billion, $1.22 billion, $1.24 billion, $1.19 billion at 72,300. All the money's sitting on the upside from here. And honestly, that's one of the reasons why I went ahead and I bought my ICP bags today, because I'm like, are we at the bottom? I'm not 100% sure. We're going to look at a couple other things here real quick. But I feel like at the very least, we're probably close enough. But, here's the thing. When the general public is bullish, the price moves down. Why? Because everybody's in a long. And for as long as people are in longs, there's going to be market makers moving the market to the opposite of that to pick up their liquidity before the price moves. All of the liquidity on the downside of this has been pretty much chewed up. You can see where it all was, because these were really, really green, or really bright yellow, which means the highest concentration of liquidity at that price point. And we've just chewed it all through. We've eaten it all. There's nothing left. There's nothing left. We're bearish now. And so when you see that bearish, that's when you start seeing that fear and greed indicator going from fearful or greedy, right? We're in fearful now, because all of the bullish sentiment has been basically eaten up by the market makers, and there's no liquidity. And now the price should hopefully start cranking to the upside and eating up some of the liquidity up here and hopefully getting into new high territory. However, it's just the 5th of July. Okay. And, it's nothing is 100% certain. Cardano obviously broke above, didn't bounce, Bitcoin crashed. And a lot of this stuff is because, you've got the Mt. Gox thing where they're selling a whole bunch of Bitcoin. You've got like Germany, which I feel like any country that's dumping Bitcoin right now is really, really stupid. But, we broke out of this flag. So we broke up above it. And this is on a 4-hour. So, and then we came back down. I was expecting all of this. I was predicting all of this. What I wasn't predicting was Mt. Gox coming into play, dumping everything on everybody, because we should have bounced here and went up. But we didn't do that because of Bitcoin's price action, clearing out the last bit of liquidity. Cardano came all the way down to 32 cents. And what's interesting, though, is when I bought my latest bag of Cardano, using Bitcoin, the spread was around 175,000 ADA for one Bitcoin. The spread never got that good again. And I haven't been keeping as close track of it as I was then, but I was looking at it the other day, and I think we got to like maybe 165,000 ADA per Bitcoin, which wasn't better than what I got it at. So, yeah, because this Bitcoin's price was dropping too much. When the altcoin prices are dropping and Bitcoin stabilized for the most part, that's a really good way to start tracking that spread and seeing like how much can you get. But at the same time, anytime Cardano's price gets all the way down, like crazy oversold, we generally get a pullback. Like this one here, we hit this, and I think we got, it was like a 16% increase in price over this period of time. And, I'm bullish to some extent. But so, this is ICP. I was looking at that, like, I was kind of watching that for a little bit. Came all the way down. Holy cow. I didn't even see that. Came all the way down to $5.80. I really wish I would have, I wish I would have set a limit order, but I didn't, because it was too difficult. I didn't want to deal with it all. Just kind of like what I have to do to trade sometimes. So anyway, Total market capitalization. Keep in mind, this is a monthly candle, but I believe we are going to pull out of this and we're going to rise up, and this is going to be green before the end of this month, because we're at a position now where we should be in up only territory on monthly candles for total market cap and Bitcoin price. That's what I think. But, we'll see. I don't 100% know, but I think we're starting this off. We're 5 days in. It's a red candle. I can see us reversing as we move further into the month. Maybe we have another week where the price is kind of sideways and even down a little bit more. Will we see 40,000? That's the question. Well, let's take a look at some of the historical price action in the past. Where is it? Let me see. Where is my, is this one it? Yeah. So here's the thing. This is Bitcoin on a 3-day chart. And as of right now, we've come down about 28% from its latest all-time high. Okay. And you can see here that when this price struck, the stochastic RSI was basically at a breaking point. And you can see the crossover. Once that crossover happened, we started to move down. We got all the way down in here, and then what happened? Well, we reversed and we pumped back up. And then we got all the way back up here, and the stochastic crossed over again, and we came back down. And up and down and up and down we go. And honestly, looking at this on a 3-day, it's very interesting, because if you look at previous price action throughout the market cycles, the stochastic RSI has actually been a pretty telling indicator. And the price action, even in a bull market, so like this here, this July date in 2016, this was basically the halving. Prior to the halving, through the halving, Bitcoin's price dropped 41%. Okay. So 41% drop. And we've seen this happen multiple times. This is post-halving into the bull market, into 2017, another 35% drop. Here's a 34% drop. And keep in mind, every time the price peaks preparing for a new drop, the stochastic RSI is all the way up in the high 90s, crosses over into the downturn. Okay. Every time. So here we go again, 39.24%. Let's just call this a 40% drop in Bitcoin. This is in the parabolic run of the last market peak. So this is not uncommon at all. Here's another 40% drop. What happens is it'll drop 40% and then it'll pump 100-something%. So if we go to the bottom of this to the top of this, that's 177.75% pump after a 40% drop. So, folks, this is nothing new. It just is nothing new. This is a 30% drop here, and this was right before the peak. Okay, and that was in the 2017 cycle. It's basically the same thing. We can see this, we can chart it out, we can see these prices. Same thing happening with the stochastic RSI. It's the ups and downs, the ebbs and flows, and the difference is that a lot of the Bitcoin that is available on it, basically available period, is being sucked up by these whales, by these institutions, because they want to own as much of it as possible if what the overall narrative for Bitcoin is truly comes to fruition. And personally, I think it's going to, at the rate we're going, but we'll see. I really don't know. I'm not even going to get political into this, but I'm scared to death, man. Shit is just so out of hand and so insane. And it really is it's like the plot line for a really bad B movie. I mean, it really is. And it's just freaking me out sometimes. And I just, when I see everything that's happening, and I'm like, you know what, this is just a terrible movie. And I'm kind of like over it, but all you can do is try and plan for the future. And that's ultimately what I'm trying to do. So listen, we're down about 28%. I think we could probably be getting some form of a reversal. I'm really hoping to see a reversal. Cardano is obviously working its way back up. Maybe we break back into this channel. Maybe we get a rip. I'm not expecting any significant pumps in the short term. I could see us maybe coming back into this range in here and then going sideways and for the week. and then maybe we really tear this flag all the way down and then break to the upside maybe in the second week of the month. And then from there, maybe we start seeing that price activity that we're really wanting, and we can start working towards new highs. So I'm not worried. I bought some more today. It is what it is. I've seen it a million times. You know, it's all good. So this is Cardano. This is Cardano's pooltool.io, and this is basically showing kind of where we're at for the Chang hard fork. I'm an idiot. For whatever reason, I was thinking that the update for Chang was already out, and that it was just a matter of all of us stake pool operators upgrading to it to get the Chang hard fork kicked off on Cardano. No, it's not out. We're at 8.9.4. 33% of the nodes out there are at 8.9.4. We've got 16% at 8.9.2 and 13% at 8.7, and then just basically a mishmash of people still running nodes. Like, I mean, seriously, I don't even know what's happening with some of these nodes. Like, why do they even exist? There's not a whole lot of them, obviously, but yeah, I'm not sure that they're performing very well. But the majority of them are at least in the 8s. So, but I guess we're waiting on 9.0. And once 9.0 hits, basically the system for the nodes, and then we all upgrade, then we're good to go. Something tells me that when 9.0 launches and everybody's ready for it, everybody's just going to upgrade right away. And then Chang's going to hit. And that's when we will have our truly democratized, I guess you could say. Jesus, you guys are, wait. Yeah, I'm just so tired of you guys trolling and spreading your bullshit in my chat. I wonder what, I bet you that guy has a huge meme coin collection and he's like really happy about that. So anyway, yeah, that's what I basically see. Online relays protocol version, blocks protocol version, epoch. Yeah, so that's what I'm waiting for. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but I also thought this was really cool. And when I looked at this, the relay data centers for Cardano, these are all of the different platforms that people are hosting their Cardano nodes on. Obviously, Amazon is the biggest at 23% with 992 of the 3,000 nodes. So basically, almost a third of the Cardano nodes are being stored on Amazon. I don't really know that I like that. Not in a data center. That's interesting. 10% are not in a data center at all. These are people that I'm guessing I don't know where they're running them. Maybe out of their houses for all I know. I have no idea. Microsoft Azure, DigitalOcean, OVH, Google Cloud, Hetzner Online, Google LLC. So I thought that was really interesting. And honestly, this is one of the reasons why I kind of really started diving back into internet computer, because I'm like, why, or is it just not feasible, possible? I wonder, any of you that are like super versed in ICP, is it possible at all to run a Cardano node on an ICP canister? I would love to know that, because I would love to know that, because even if we had like 10% of the nodes and that we're on a decentralized platform like ICP, where they're like completely, it's just an extra layer of unhackability, security and everything. But I don't really know what all the limitations yet are of ICP canisters. So you have to let me know. Taking a look at the weekly report, July 5th, this is brand spanking new. Node version 8.12.2 has been released, offering improved bootstrap peer networking. Lace wallet version 1.13 has been released. Ongoing work on the certification of Cardano transactions in Mithril. Conway Ledger era resilience and safety improvements. Catalyst Fund 12 voting underway. Preparations for the Cardano developer course in Buenos Aires. Total value locked currently is 547 million. 1,365 different projects are building. There are over 10.17 million native tokens on Cardano right now. Token policies 141,000. Plutus script 64,248 with about 93.3 million transactions. Benchmarks for Node. Okay, final preparations. Oh, that was just June. So that was from the last report to kind of show you how things have changed, I guess. So yeah, that's basically the latest and greatest going on for Cardano. And I thought there was something else, but I guess not. So let's take a quick look at chat. And yeah, I think this could very well be the last. We of course we say this every time, right? At this point, we're getting redundant. We're all hoping it's the last dump, but based off of where liquidity is and everything, yeah, I can see it. I also just posted a big old thing for airdrops in my locals. For those of you guys that like airdrops, I posted a bunch in there. They're kind of broken down in there are a few links in there that'll take you to places where there are airdrops that are basically you just register on their whitelist and then you could get involved in the airdrop. Some of them are like social things where you do like social media sharing, you get free tokens. There's just a lot of different excuse me, a lot of different things that you can do for some free tokens in there. So I just posted that last night in my locals. And make sure you join my locals. Even if you join the free, just join it. It just really kind of helps me gauge things. I've got a question that I posted in my locals, like what helps you the most, because what I do on YouTube can be different from what I do in locals. And if people are paying the monthly membership fee for my locals, I want to make sure that you're getting value. And I'm still trying to figure out what that value is. Valuable to me may be different to you. So I don't want to put time in offering things in my locals that you don't necessarily consider valuable. I want to know because we could be in two different worlds. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like what is valuable to you and you locals folks? And I posted that question even in the free group, like, hey, what'll get you to convert? Because this is basically, I'm trying to build this into something that is ultimately like my income stream through the next bear market, if that's like even possible, through the bull market. But it's just like I'm really struggling. I'm trying to figure out what matters to people. But it's also a difficult question to ask when the market is red. Is it just sentiment? Do you guys like when I just write articles about my thoughts for the day, what happened in my life? Do you just anything, like any ideas? Somebody came up with a really good idea, basically saying, what if you put your price prediction videos out on YouTube, you schedule them, but while they're private, we get access to them like a couple days early so that we can watch them before anyone else. And I'm like, I think that's okay. I don't really see any reason why that's an issue. So I might do that. I know that's basically what you can do on YouTube. You schedule a video out and like your YouTube members can watch it before anyone else does. So I might start doing that on my locals as well. And yeah. Sorry, I was trading the chart. Yes, you've been slipping as a mod there, Chef, with your crazy trades. I see you posted them. And yeah, Jason, Copy nodes are up to be registered. Cornucopias nodes up to be registered. I'll have to look into that. I got all the NFTs I need, but I'm like, man, every time I turn around, there's something else for sale for Cornucopias, and I just can't even keep track of it half the time. Thoughts on Sol and ICP unlimited supply? Terra Luna had that. I don't like unlimited supply, but yeah, like Ethereum's unlimited as well. I mean, that's a good point. What about Jules? I haven't touched my Jules. I haven't touched that game in quite a while. I like the game a lot. I think it's actually really clever and really cute, but it's like I'm too busy, and sometimes that game feels like work. And it's like I get it. It's work for benefits, but I've been too busy to keep up with that, and like the schedule, everything's kind of on a schedule. And it's like, okay, I can merge these two and create another one, and then I can do it again in 4 days, and then on 3 days I can do this, and it's like I'll have AI do it someday. That is one thing. That is one thing. I've been diving really, really deep into AI right now. I just set up a full-blown workflow in the agent team, and just to learn how the system works. And I'm probably going to start sharing more of that, because I'm not known obviously as an AI guy, but I'll probably start posting some cool stuff in the locals, explaining how I'm doing what I'm doing and why. And then maybe I'll share some of the data associated with that. You got to do some content on Nuvola, a Cardano project that is scaling projects like Iagon. Iagon will host Cardano nodes too. That would be really, really cool, man. I like IAG. I'll have to check that out. Nuvola. I'll look it up. That sounds pretty cool. What up, French Toaster? And this is just kind of a chill hangout on a Friday. Try to share some information, some thoughts, for people that are out there trying to talk themselves off a bridge. Like, relax. It's all good. I'm about to buy more ADA. Dumps don't scare me. It's just a discount. Yeah, I mean, it is. It's a discount. I mean, Cardano's been hanging out at 35 cents pretty much all afternoon. So, we'll see. FUD and dumps are for buying. Not many understand. It comes from time and wisdom. Here's the thing, folks. I believe that when it comes to Cardano, we're just getting ready to finalize this shit, man. The era of Voltaire is what we've all been waiting for. This is where we have the completely completed blockchain ready to go. And then from there, it's all about just improving everything that exists. I know it's been developing slow. I know that it's taken years. But you know what? When was the last time Cardano was hacked? When was the last time Cardano shut down? When was the last time Cardano did any of the shit that a lot of these broken chains do all the time, because they're just in a rush to be first to market? And maybe being first to market with a shit chain matters. Maybe that helps and it gets everybody all excited, and then they capitalize on it with a bunch of bullshit narratives. But, the reality is Cardano is a far superior chain than the vast majority of stuff out there that at least I know of. And I think it's only going to continue getting better from here. So, I do want to see more use. I do want to see more exciting use cases on Cardano. I get that a lot of the bigger projects are like, we want to be multi-chain. And it's like, cool, I get that. More power to you. That ultimately could bring more people into the Cardano ecosystem. But ultimately, I just want to see, I want to see some bigger, more substantial use cases that rely solely on Cardano, if at all possible, because we just need it. We need it as a community and an ecosystem, and it helps. But in the grand scheme of things, if we start getting countries, literally countries, utilizing Cardano for a variety of different systems and use cases for millions and millions of people in each of those countries, Cardano's one of those things that it's built such an amazing ecosystem on the blockchain that all it's really going to take is one major use case to really drive adoption, and Cardano can explode overnight. And the reality of it is that it's one of the very few blockchains out there that's built itself to be really in line with any kind of needs anybody could have. So it's absolutely possible. So, yeah, Argentina, now that could be one of them. What happened? Damn, got my question for Crow deleted. Crazy. Was just asking what Crow thought about so many Cardano nodes being hosted on a handful of cloud providers. They have the money for second uptime. I didn't delete your question. I don't know what happened. I doubt Chef did either, because he's too busy staring at charts. We just looked at those numbers. It's not really that bad. It's a lot more than a handful. 800 of the relays are on anything other than one of those. 23%, so 992. Yeah, 23% are on Amazon AWS. 10% aren't even in a data center at all. Yeah, it's pretty broken up, dude. Like a handful is like 4 or 5. this is broken up pretty well across a lot of different systems, platforms, and just like standalone nodes operating on the behest of the individual. So yeah, I don't think it's as bad as you seem to think it is. Crypto Chef, no one deleted it. I think maybe he bumped his own. I don't think enough people are giving Cardano enough credit. Look at the big picture. MiCA compliance, Africa, Argentina, states asking about voting. List goes on and on. Well, I agree with you. The thing is though is that it's still pretty new. Cardano's done. It's going to be done. And I can't wait to see what starts cranking once we're able to start utilizing some of that treasury dough, bro. Because once we're able to start effectively using that, voting on things as a community and really start, maybe we need some marketing. We need some really awesome use cases, and then we need to market the shit out of them. And that is going to draw people in. And on top of that, we need a centralized exchange that lists everything Cardano has. All of the native asset tokens, at least the major ones. I will tell you guys right now, I know of an exchange that may very well be coming here in less than a month or so. That is planning on launching that centralized exchange along with all of these native asset tokens. So yeah, I mean, don't worry, it's coming. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, folks. It's 12:30. Enjoy your afternoon. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Hopefully the price doesn't continue dumping at all, but even if it does, hey, we could get down into the 40s, and that would just mean it's a 40% drop in something we've seen multiple times previously in previous market cycles. It's really nothing new. But if we did, I can't imagine why, because there's just no liquidity below where we're at right now. It's all been chewed up. So the only real profitable place for the market makers to go right now is up. So until next time, guys, grow your coins, and I'll see you soon.